Now, if you look at the bottom, that's where relapse frequency was. Relapse frequency in 1989 was believed to be the least important outcome measure that was listed in all the various outcomes that were proposed. If we look at relapses from year 3 on to onset of SP, which is, remember, these are the relapses enumerated in most clinical trials leading to drug approval. In fact, relapses are associated with a better outcome, not a worse outcome. So you actually are better off, at least if you think there's a causal relationship in terms of having more frequent relapses. So there's no rationale that I can see for suppressing relapses if your focus is on long-term outcome. So now we're looking at the total number of relapses during the relapse-remitting phase. This is time to EDSS-6. The time to 8 is the same, by the way. And you have on the top there 1 to 2 relapses. Time to 6 is 15 years. But at the bottom, equal to or greater than 5 relapses during the relapse-remitting phase is 15.6 years. So in fact, there's no effect. It's demonstrable in natural history data of relapses during the relapse-remitting phase that is considered in total. Now, a lot of people believe this. Oh, this has been scrambled slightly, but anyway, widely believe that causality is associated, or it pertains to relapses and late disability. But if this were true, then there would be a number of predictions that you could make. And the first one we've already dealt with: relapse frequency would increase the age of onset of SP, and it doesn't. You would say that the total number of attacks would relate to worse outcome. It doesn't. We'll come back to that. And you would say that attacks during pivotal trials might be more important, and they're not, and we'll show you why in a minute. You can see, starting from the bottom, that change in MRI, which is what turned the key for the FDA back in 1992, actually has 0 predictive value for physical disability at 16 years. 0. There are many drugs that reduce relapses, many drugs that reduce MRI. None convincingly influence long-term outcomes. None of them lengthen time to secondary progression, and none of them alter secondary progressive probability, at least it's been demonstrated. So what to do? Well, the first thing is stop marketers from misleading patients and families that relapse-remitting drugs prevent disability. They don't. We should be aiming for long-term outcomes, and the most accessible is SP, or second SP development, and I'm confident you could do a trial in less than 5 years. I know that's a long time. I know it's going to be difficult, and I'm sure everybody will jump up and say that. Any lesser outcome should require obligatory long-term follow-up and a drug license be pulled for noncompliance. I know that's harsh, but I think that's what needs to be done.